Let's get right into it. What if I told you that your morning routine, the one you've been doing for years without a second thought, might be secretly increasing your risk of a stroke? The biggest warnings don't actually start in a doctor's office. They start right at home, in your bedroom, your kitchen, the bathroom, all within that very first hour of your day.
So it really makes you wonder, right? Is that familiar routine actually a comfort, or could it be a hidden threat? And if you're over 60, this question is absolutely crucial, because all the science points to the morning as a uniquely vulnerable time for your brain. And here's the core idea we really need to grasp. After 60, your body wakes up in what scientists call a fragile morning state. See, overnight your blood has naturally gotten thicker, and as you start to wake up, your blood pressure starts to climb, and your blood vessels are just stiffer than they'll be later in the day. It's a perfect storm for risk. So let's start with the first set of habits, the mistakes we all make with hydration and what we put in our bodies first thing. What you drink or eat in that first hour can either be your shield or, it can put you in harm's way.
Okay, this one? Millions of us do this every single day. We wake up and immediately reach for that cup of coffee. But here's the problem. After a full night's sleep, you're already a little dehydrated, which makes your blood thicker. Then you pour in coffee, a diuretic, which tells your body to get rid of more water. It's a double whammy. You're getting more dehydrated while the caffeine is jacking up your heart rate and your blood pressure.
So you see, there's this total mismatch happening. When you first wake up, your brain isn't crying out for a jolt of stimulation. No, it's asking for circulation and hydration to just gently ease into the day. But that first thing, coffee, it delivers the exact opposite: stimulation and more dehydration.
And this story, wow, it just brings it all home. There was this 82-year-old man in Arizona who was having these tiny, silent strokes almost every morning. The one constant in his routine, he drank strong black coffee before he'd had a single sip of water. The moment his doctors had him flip that, water first, coffee later, the mini strokes just stopped completely.
And the solution is so simple. This isn't about ditching coffee altogether. Not at all. It's just about timing. All you have to do is wait about 20 to 30 minutes after drinking a big glass of water before you have that first coffee. That's it. It just gives your body time to rehydrate and get its bearings. Now, the other big mistake in this category is skipping breakfast. When your blood sugar is low, your body kind of goes into panic mode. It thinks there's a threat, so it floods your system with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And what do those do? They spike your blood pressure and make your blood thicker and more likely to clot. It can even mess with your morning meds, making them hit your system way too hard, way too fast. So there's our first look at hydration and fuel. If you're finding these insights helpful, just do me a quick favor and comment with the number 1 below. It really helps to know this is useful. Okay, let's move on to our second category of risk: circulation and movement traps. It turns out how you move or don't move right after you wake up is a really subtle but very serious danger. So many of us do this, right? The alarm goes off, we swing our legs over, and we just sit on the edge of the bed for 5-10 minutes, maybe more. But here's the thing. All night long, blood has been pooling in your legs. If you just sit there, that blood stays put instead of getting pumped back up to your heart and, most importantly, to your brain, which is just starved for fresh oxygen.
I love this quote because it completely reframes a feeling we all know. That morning fog, that grogginess, it's not just about being sleepy. Medically speaking, it's a sign of undercirculation. Your brain is literally waiting for the fuel it needs to fire on all cylinders. And stagnant blood, that's where clots love to form.
And the fix for this is so easy it's almost funny. It takes seconds. Before you even stand up, just flex your toes and roll your ankles around. Roll your shoulders back and forth. These tiny little movements fire up your calf muscles, which act like a second heart, and they start pumping all that stagnant blood right back up to where you need it. Now, let's talk about rushing. When you jump out of bed and hurry to the bathroom, you're risking something called orthostatic stress. You've probably felt it. It's that sudden dizziness or head rush when you stand up too fast. It's a quick drop in blood pressure, and for an older body with stiffer vessels, it can literally starve your brain of oxygen for a moment. So you see, it's this dangerous chain reaction. You stand up too quickly, which causes that first pressure drop. Then you rush to the bathroom, and then you might strain a bit, which skyrockets your internal pressure. This whole cascade of ups and downs is a well-known trigger for morning strokes. It's just too much for the system to handle. If this information on circulation is really resonating with you and making sense, I'd appreciate it if you'd show some support by commenting with the number 1. All right, let's get into our final category. This one is all about the invisible dangers, mental stress, and the simple things we overlook when it comes to monitoring our own bodies. Think about it. How many of us grab our phones the second we open our eyes? We're immediately flooding our brains with scary news headlines, stressful work emails, and all that social media drama. We're basically hitting our system with a huge wave of psychological stress at the exact moment it's most physically vulnerable.
Now, here's what's so fascinating. Your body already gives you a natural morning surge of cortisol, the stress hormone, just to help you wake up. That's normal. But when you pile emotional stress from the news or your inbox on top of that, you're not just adding stress, you're multiplying it. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire, creating this massive, dangerous spike in your blood pressure.
And this leads us to a huge, critical oversight: not checking your blood pressure in the morning. The single most volatile time for your blood pressure, when it's at its highest and swings the most, is between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. Yet that's the one time of day most people never even think to check it. You just can't manage a risk that you don't even know is there.
Get this. This number comes from a real patient. He thought his blood pressure was totally fine because he only ever checked it in the evenings when it was a nice, normal 130/75. But his morning numbers, which he never saw, they were surging to a shocking 180/95. That is deep in the stroke danger zone, and that's the hidden threat of morning hypertension. And hey, one last time, if these insights on stress and just being more aware of your body have been valuable for you, please take a moment to comment with the number 1. It really helps me know this content is connecting.
Okay, so we've unpacked all these hidden dangers. So what now? The good news is this isn't about living in fear. It's about being smart and building a simple, protective shield for your brain every single morning.
And this chart just lays it out so perfectly, doesn't it? It shows how simple this is. You're not taking things away, you're just making simple swaps. Instead of coffee first, it's water first. Instead of rushing and straining, it's pausing and moving gently. Swap out that stressful news for just 10 minutes of calm, and replace sitting still with 5 minutes of light, easy movement.
At the end of the day, here's what it all comes down to. Protecting your brain for the long haul, true longevity, isn't about some massive, difficult life overhaul. It's really about the small, intentional choices you make in that first hour of the day. Choices that honor and respect your body's fragile morning state. These little adjustments, they aren't just nice to haves, they are medicine, they are protection, they are longevity in action. So as we wrap up, the final question is really for you. Your brain is asking for this protection. How are you going to answer that call tomorrow morning?